that our program has to be for gods, and it has to be probably non-religious or so on. So we have all of these restrictions, and at the same time, I feel that I want to include the other library community to come and see who we are. So I see all of these issues that we have to juggle with, and so what do you think?
Harold's eager to answer, but I'll just say that's a big issue that we'll definitely talk about when we talk about communications and the next later on too. We can feel free to talk about it now, but I think you're right. I think venues, churches, libraries can be great venues for us, but they also can create other barriers too. They might not be inclusive, or community members might not feel comfortable, or it's all about who you're reaching. Is it a general audience, or Harold? You had an answer. You're going to solve it.
Okay. In the first place, as we're talking, my name is Harold. I'm from Ghana. I teach music. I'm a teaching artist with Broken Arts Council. We're telling our stories. Everybody here is telling a story today. So, as every program we are doing is storytelling. We are writing our history, our stories. Every group, whether you are an individual or whatever, you are telling your story. How do you communicate? Like he said, you're renting a space in a church, but you have to have a disclaimer that we are not affiliated to the church. You make, like your flyers, as you distribute, we're only using their space to reach our missions. So what happens is that when people get it, and then like she said, she had said that one of your spaces is your website. Put that there so that people will know whatever you are doing in the church is not affiliated to that church. You are only using their space. That's one of the ways to do that. And the other ways is also is that you have to look at your target audience. Who are you trying to cater for? Specific community, or you want to reach a general purpose community. So when you define your mission and the goals, it will help you to know how not to create problems with the space that you're using. I heard Chris saying that spaces like the library and then the church, sometimes they can create barriers. For me, for the library, I would say no. Because when you use the library is a general purpose space. Everybody can use it. But for the church is where the problem is. So your best bet is maybe you use the library, or when you are using the church, make sure that the church can also help you to say that, okay, they are using our space, but they don't represent our religious views, visions, missions, and all those things. When you do that, you won't have any problem.
But sometimes we're also...
No, we do have problems.
Have you done what I've just said there?
But I have been
right?
doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And you just have in your flyer just the name of the place where it's going to be. And most of the people will say, oh, this is religious.
No, because you have not made that disclaimer. Because one, you say, okay, sometimes you get a flyer and then they will say, okay, or even you go to a website and they will tell you, even though people are using our space, they don't represent our interests. Or people post something, even newspapers, they will say, oh, publishers or writers who are posting things in the newspapers, they don't represent our interests, even though the people might be working for them.
It's hard as a Polish Catholic. The Catholic Church is a powerful symbol.
Okay.
And in some communities, maybe on Staten Island, it's really hard to get out from under the Catholic Church and what it represents. So
I mean, it's just like a community that probably they're not informed, or they didn't read the flyer, or
sure.
You just know that this event is going to be in this venue, and they assume that it's religious, that it doesn't have to do anything with them, that it's not open to the community, even if it's in the flyers, even if it's in the newspaper, even if it's in your website. So yeah, people just assume that. So I see that as an issue as well.
When we
Can I just- can I
when we
just-
get to the communication, we can
I'm
talk
just going
more
to call
about
about, I'm just going to talk to Shirley. Shirley, you haven't had a chance to speak yet, and then I'll get to you guys.
I'm Shirley, as an education guest. And just wanted to say something about your point about the libraries being open to the programs that you do. I strongly disagree with that point because I've done tried to do a lot of programs within my community, in the library within my community, and I have a lot of issues.
Flatbush?
The Flatbush
Right,
branch.
yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, sorry, did I say that?
Yeah, for example,
Go ahead. You're right. Yeah, but these guys work very
All
intimately.
1, 2, 3.
And that is an issue. I mean, every library is branch by branch. I mean, the central library you'll get great service. Greenpoint, where's Aja? She works with the Polish community. They do folk programs at that library just because. I mean, they're really incredible. The Flatbush, the Caribbean Literary Center, not so much. But you guys are. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
was just about to say that, just the library. We had a fantastic exhibition on Cheryl Byron, who was the person who founded the group that Michael Manzo here from that group. He's the artistic director. One of New York's best Caribbean performing arts community. So we did an exhibition on Cheryl's Regala, beautiful, creative woman who known throughout the community. There was a tribute in respect of acknowledgement her tradition, and we were asked, I think a week in after the exhibition was up, to come and remove the altar with the acknowledgement. Well, I personally said, hell no. And I wrote a long paragraph on the context and reason for the altar, and understanding that this is tradition and this is what this represented. Michael, on the other hand, to my surprise and chagrin, was very accommodating because he understood the struggles that we were having as a community, as artists using the space, and he acquiesced it, and he says, of course, we will remove it. I, in turn, wrote a letter to the library explaining to them about tradition. So when you talk about disclaimers, those things are great, and we do put those disclaimers in. However, we have to become mindful that there are also people within the ranks of different institutions that they're not artists, they're not interested in any form of art, they're just workers, and so therefore they make decisions based on their headspace. And then those things become their own issues. And then when you try to address it in a larger way, it takes time because you have to do the right thing. You don't go around, creating enemies. You want to become part of something that.
we'll talk about it when we get
No, I think you're right. I think it's an important thing to find the right partners. I used to do this Irish traditional session on Staten Island, and the people that ran it would always tell me, finding the right bar to do these things is so important, and the bartender has got to be Irish. Because he's got to enjoy the music, and that made all the difference. If we would find a venue like that, everything would just go smoothly. But if we'd find a restaurant that was looking for, to make money and to pull people in, it was just, there was hassles nonstop, and then it just killed the vibe. I think there's the vibe that happens when you do a partnership that doesn't work for everyone else involved. It killed it. Okay, Claire, do you want to say something?
Yes. As much as we're paying a rent for the space, we have problems.
Right.
And what we have done is to see what they needed.
That's it. That's my answer. That's what I was going to say.
So they
company.
needed to have someone to teach their praise dance.
Yeah.
So Clark is a choreographer. And since he's been working with them, we haven't had many problems. We still have problems.
You still have.
Yeah, but at least, you have some more people on your side, because as Maxine was saying, within these, whether it's the church or the library or whatever, you have people who don't understand where you're coming from.
That's it.
And so they just feel members of the church said,
Intimidated,
some
though.
members of the church said,
Yeah.
we came to take over the church,
Yeah.
you know? And so what we had to do is find a way to work with them and to address their needs as well. We invite them to things. If they want to come, that's fine, but these are our programs. And so if you want to be part of it, we don't mind, but we conduct this, and we are responsible to ensure that what we want to say and how we want to say it is done.
Sure. No, I mean, I do use this gym and I pay as well. But my concern is how do we get the larger community to get also to come to us without the stigma that is religious? Because one of our main goals as well is to include the larger community. Because as we include them, they will know who we are. They will see us with different eyes. We are immigrants. And the idea is to make bridges and connections with the community that we live on, right? So how do we solve these kind of problems? Because I see it as a big problem. My husband is Jewish. I'm from Mexico. My kids are a real mix. And I want them to expose to both cultures and heritage. And they want to be wherever they want to be later on, right? So we have all of these issues. And I'm just trying to find a way where it's in a more, how to say, not such a much trouble to have a place where it's more balanced, right? Not so extreme to one culture or the other culture, but more open to everybody.
I'm just gonna, I wish you wanted to say something.
So I really congratulate every one of your hard work. We are all coming from different countries, and with one goal, we are here together to share, communicate, and educate. So back home, we have access and we have no issues to do anything, whatever their art form is.
Everybody's home.
Where's home?
Back home.
Where's home?
No, she's
I'm
talking
saying back
generally.
home. Let's go back to home.
She's talking generally. Yeah, everybody's home.
So I'm from, my name is Ailushi and I'm from India.
Yeah.
Harold.
Ghana.
So we are going back home before we came to India. So when you are doing your art form in your back
country.
home, you know your resources and it's right there. And now we are all coming here. Now we are talking about the community.
Yeah.
So now the resource which we have brought here, there is so much choice we have brought to this community. So now back home, when I have an opportunity, I learn Bharatanatyam, I have Garba, I have Ras. So whatever that art form I had, I was exposed to, and I brought that baggage here with me. Now I'm here, I'm growing up here. So this community, I have so many things, so many options. So now there is ample of selection is here. So now we are trying to how can I preserve my art form, but what the community needs. What is that community want? And that we are not able to connect together probably. But I'm really congratulated, we are all struggling together and maintain in this delicate topic of religion, culture, tradition. And if you just unbox everything, it's a very sensitive topic we are talking. We are also talking about respect. And where is it all coming from? This is not just an isolated words we are talking here. It's a deeper meaning here, and we are continuing the preservation of the tradition to the next generation. But the choice we have brought here collectively, it's so much, and the community is I don't know what I need now. So where do we go from here? And we have done so much of this conversation together, but I think we need to come together and organize and create that fellowship call tree so that when I need and help, I can reach out to Harold or I can reach out to Melinda, and whenever I need that help, I can build that community together because I can use her artwork, or I can use Harold's artwork, or I can use Nicole's artwork, and then shape that art here. Because going back home, it's very easy, but here we are all struggling together for one goal, to preserve our culture.
To Chris.